As you may or may not know, my Tournament 2 recently ended, and this is the Merlantian deck that zyahpoetra took to victory. Now, I should note before this duel, I am not the best Mermail player out there. I've played Mermail before. I have two different Mermail decks, slightly different from each other, but I haven't played them that much. So I can play them well. I know most of their effects. I can think out some combos, but I haven't played the deck that much to have the experience to really get the most out of the deck. But I did my best in this duel, and I'd say I did really well. I just started with my knowledge of Dragon Rulers to get that going, and from there, it wasn't really that difficult. So I'm happy I started with this hand. As I was saying, zyahpoetra took this Merlantian deck to victory, went undefeated in Group C and won all 4 matches there. And then in Stage 2 of the tournament, single elimination, zyahpoetra won all 4 matches, including the finals against Yugzilla, who, well, was the winner of Group H, which was my group, and also in the semi-finals, zyahpoetra beat Ashban Love, which was the second placed person in my group. So once again, shout out to Group H for both reaching the semi-finals. Yeah. Alright, now I just start with the basic Dracosack play, and I don't really know what the opponent is playing because they're not playing anything. So I just go with Abyssphere and Linde because I know that that's a main combo, and I'm like, hey, what do I summon? I just want something with big attack because I know I can't get Megalo's effect because that only happens when you summon it through its own effect. I'm like, okay, I can get a lot of stuff going. I can discard Dragoons and Abyss Toys to summon Abyss Megalo. I can search for an Abyss spell or trap card. I'm pretty sure this Sphere is the only one in this deck. If not, there's one copy and I missed it, sorry. I add Sphere, and I'm like, okay, what's Sea Serpent? Last time I went for Megalo because I knew it would be good. I also know Mulan Glacier has a Sea Serpent, and I have like 4 cards in there. Now, what I forgot at this point, I wanted to summon Mulan Glacier, but I didn't really have space. What I forgot is that Megalo's effect tributes a face-up attack position water monster, so I could have tributed Abyss Lead. Did I say Toys earlier in the duel? Anyway, Abyss Lead, I could have tributed it to give Megalo 2 attacks and then summon Mulan Glacier. But he had Battle Feather, so it may not have mattered because he had 6 cards in his hand, and discarding 2 of them might not have actually hit Fader. But yeah, in my main phase 2, I just decided to use Dracosack's effect. I still have another token to defend myself, so why not get rid of it? Opponent, once again, doesn't play anything. I'm like, okay, yeah, now I'm gonna go for the Mulan Glacier play, tributing Abyss Lead for Megalo's effect. Megalo can get 2 attacks, and with Mulan Glacier, that's still an OTK. And hopefully I'll hit that Battle Fade or Swift Scarecrow or whatever is waiting for him there. So it's like some kind of stall deck. I'm guessing. I haven't really seen a lot of spells or traps either. So probably he's right now just playing on the hand trap. So I expect another Fader or Scarecrow. So I'm trying to hit it here with Mulan Glacier. Let's see if I can get them. Do I get them? Do I get them? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Shall we get it? So exciting. No, wrong song. And I hit Where Art Thou and accumulate a fortune, which Where Art Thou shows it's a level 1 deck, like with Fader, Scarecrow, probably Piper, and King Caballo. And Fortune, well, he probably has changed somewhere in the deck. Here, he had another Fader, but I didn't hit it, which is unfortunate. So in main phase 2, I just decide to destroy it with the Dracosack again, so I can go OTK. Yeah. Sorry, I just woke up. So I can go OTK next turn if he doesn't have Fader. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. I was thinking, do I use Dracosack's effect this turn or not? Because would he have like Dark Hole, I wouldn't be able to defend itself right now. But if I summon the 2 tokens and he doesn't place anything on the field, then I can't OTK next turn. Because I have Monster Reborn to call a monster back. But, yeah. So I decided just not going for it. I didn't expect any monster removal on a card like Dracosack. He plays the face down card, I play MSD. He says good game. That was apparently the only thing I could still stall, and I'll see you in the deck profile. Which is exactly what you're looking at right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the deck profile of my second tournament winning deck. Just as a refresh, there were two special restrictions placed on this tournament, and I'll be continuing with the restrictions in future tournaments. This tournament, two restrictions. One for the main deck, one for the extra deck. The main deck restriction was you can only use a maximum of one attribute. So the Dragon Rulers, the way we know them now, and Prophecy, the way we know them now, being that strong and meta, were not going to work because they had multiple attributes. So I expected a lot of Mermail and Fire Fits to come because they were like the strongest decks out there before Spellbook of Judgment and the Dragon Rulers came out. There were 3 Fire Fists, but only one Mermail deck, and that one Mermail deck, operated by zyahpoetra, won the whole thing. Now congratulations. We have 3 Tidal Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls, because why not? It is a very strong card. And it can summon Dragosack, which is also one of the 2 extra deck cards that zyahpoetra decided to go with, because the other restriction was the extra deck was only allowed to have 2 cards maximum. The main deck attribute wasn't that much of a problem for most people. It was mostly the very limited space in the extra deck. So most decks didn't really need the extra deck that much. Alright, we also have 3 Stream Dragon Rule of Droplets to 1 summon the strong Tidal, possibly for Dragosack plays, but since it's a cost to discard the water monster, you can activate effects like Atlantean Marksman. 3 Abyss Linde, because it has good effect to summon Mermails and it combos very well with Abyss Sphere. It's not for no reason, it's in the artwork. Atlantean Dragoons to add a Sea Serpent, such as Megalo, such as, where is the thing, Lead, such as Mulan Glacia. We have 1 Abyss Gunday. I've actually never drawn this in any of the times that I've tried to record. Well, no, 1. But that was a complete fail duel, so I didn't upload that. This is one of the few Mermails that gets an effect when discarded to the graveyard. Although not necessarily for the activation of a water monster's effects like the Atlanteans do, but Mermail of Isgunde does get an effect, and it summons a Mermail from the graveyard, which can also be very helpful in certain situations. 3 copies of Mermail Abyss Megala, because that is the main card in the Mermail deck, especially before the Dragon Rulers and Tidal came out. Mermail Abyss Megala was the card in Mermail. Like, it was worth $70 to $80, which is loads of money. Now we have Mermail Abyss Spike. We have 2 copies of Atlantean Marksman to destroy set cards, 3 copies of Infantry to destroy face-up card, which is usually what it's used for, not often for the other effects, but it does happen sometimes. 2 copies of Deep Sea Diva, allowing you to go into Dueling if you have either 2 heavy infantries or a level 4 monster such as Abyss Spike or Dragoons. Mermail Abyss Toys to add a Mermail from the deck to the hand and have a decent 1700 attacker. We have 1 copy of Mulan Glacia. It can be very strong, but 2 is just too much. It's a dead draw too often. And with 1, you don't draw into it that often, and you can actually search for it with cards like Dragoons, as you saw in the duel. And getting rid of 2 cards in the opponent's hand is very useful, and with 2800 attack, that's some power you got there. And then finally, there's 1 copy of Mermail Abyss Lead. It requires 3 water monsters to be sent to the grave. If you have like 3 Atlanteans, like 1 Dragoons, 1 Marksman, 1 Infantry, or 1 of those cards is Abyss Gunde, then you're getting a lot of effects. But if you like only have like Stream, Deep Sea Diva, Megalo, then unfortunate, but you can still summon it if you want, and you can add an Abyss Spell Trap card from graveyard to hand instead of Megalo's deck to hand. And you can send cards from the opponent's hand to the graveyard with the other effects. I haven't actually used that yet, but those experienced Mermail players tell me how often you actually use that part of the effect. 2 copies of MSD, the Pot of Avarice is below the Heavy Infantry. Pot of Avarice, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, 3 copies of Abyss Sphere, usually used with Abyss Linde to afterwards summon a Mermail monster to the field, and then 2 Torrential Tribute. In the extra deck, there's 1 Dragosack. That's the card that was often used. Well, it was used by me, and I know that it was used often by zyahpoetra as well. With Tidal, with Megalo, with Twice, with Lead. And then Dueling. I don't know if Zyah actually used Dueling very often. I haven't. I've seen a few, like 2 of Zyah's duels, and I've seen the screenshots from the duel, and I don't remember Dueling being in any of them. So zyahpoetra, tell me if you've actually used Dueling or not. Not that it matters, you've won the tournament, but fun to know, I suppose. In the side deck, zyahpoetra put 2 Snowman Eater, 1 Prohibition, 2 Breakthrough Skill, 2 Royal Decree, 2 Overworked, 2 Mind Drain, 2 Imperial Iron Wall, and 2 Dust Tornado. And with that, this deck profile has come to an end. This was tournament winner number 2, zyahpoetra's Merlantian deck, with title Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls. I hope you look forward to my 3rd tournament, and I hope I'll see a lot of people back, and also a lot of new people to join in. Due to me going on vacation, I will not be starting that new tournament until the end of August or the start of September, and so that will be using the new ban list, whatever it'll be. The new ban list will be leaked, made official when I am on vacation. I'll find out what it is in my final couple of days on vacation when I'm with my friend in England, and I already have an idea of what I want to do with the tournament, although it might not actually be the official Alco 193 tournament, tournament 3, because a certain other user and I are working on a certain tournaments that, if our plans work out, will be definitely the biggest and best unofficial tournament ever. But there's a lot of planning to go with that, so one of the 2 tournaments is going to happen end of August, beginning of September, so keep an eye on my profile on the forums if you want to join in. Right, guys, once again, this was zyahpoetra's Mermail deck. Feel free to start using it yourself if you feel like, but of course put stuff in the extra deck, because, well, we cannot play with 15 if there's no restriction. Have a good day. See you later.